Okay, so Tommy Muldoon. Let's see how much different he is from the base version of Chapter 1. So here's the Chapter 1 version of Tommy Muldoon. He comes from the Dream Eater set. All our stats are pretty much the same. We got 3 brain, 3 book, 4 fist, and 2 foot. But now the abilities are a little bit skewed because this version of Tommy gets 1 extra health. So the original Tommy had a reaction when an asset you control is defeated, gain X resources. Where X is total amount of damage and horror on that asset, shuffle that asset back into your deck. His old playstyle was really good about recycling allies. And then his Elder Sign effect is +2, you may be up to 2 damage and or horror from Tommy Muldoon to an asset you control, and vice versa. So Tommy was a really, really strong, beefy tank. New Tommy. Action. Spend 1 resource or discard a firearm asset you control from play. Play a firearm asset from your hand, paying its cost. It enters play with 2 additional ammo on it. So it's a really good way to get rid of guns that aren't really good anymore. And it gets extra ammo on it. Elder Sign effect, +1. Place ammo on an asset you control that uses ammo. It is what it is. This one is definitely more the officer now instead of the rookie cop. So Tommy's gotten kind of a boost in the attack department. Both have a 30 card deck size, except this Tommy is Guardian cards 0 to 5 and neutral cards 0 to 5 only. Well, the original Tommy from Chapter 1, Guardian cards 0 to 5 and then neutral cards 0 to 5, but he had access to Survivor cards 0 to 2. Deck building requirements. They both use Becky. Oh my god. But Becky. Their weakness has changed from Loose Cannon to Rookie Mistake, or Rookie Mistake to Loose Cannon. And that's going to affect how your playstyle is. Having the loss of the Survivor cards, I think actually does hurt Tommy, but he gains it by getting that extra health. We'll see how well that goes. But now the weaknesses. Okay, so Tommy's on both the arts, but his signature weakness is now Loose Cannon, Revelation. Either discard each firearm asset you control or lose 5 resources. That's going to hurt unless it comes up early, especially if you've been upgrading guns. As far as Rookie Mistake goes, discard each asset you control with damage or horror on it. If no assets were discarded by effect, shuffle Rookie Mistake back in your deck. That's really not that hard to do with the old Tommy. This was kind of just a minor inconvenience. But this one can cost you a lot, especially if you don't have the 5 resources to pay. And then we have the Beckys. They are both custom Marlin 1894s. Really sweet gun. I have an 1895. Still 2 cost. Now the difference in pitching. Pitches for a brain, a fist, and a wild versus a fist, a foot, and a wild. Tommy Muldoon only. Same 2 ammo. Action on this one. Spend 1 ammo. Fight with fist. You get +2 fist and deal +1 damage with this attack. And then original Becky, each resource gained from Tommy Muldoon's reaction ability may be instead placed on Becky as ammo. And that was the thing that made Becky really cool, is she never ran out of bullets, because you were constantly just getting rid of things. The reaction now is when you trigger the above action ability Exhaust Becky, this ignores aloof and retaliate keywords, which are actually really strong. Just means that you can't do this multiple times, you can just do it once, but you can still keep on fighting, because exhausted cards can do it unless it says exhaust the card as a cost. But other than that, it's still that 2, 5, +1 damage. So this one just ignores the aloof and retaliate keywords. I'm not too broken up about how Becky's works now. I wish Becky had this constant infinite ammo thing, but I guess they thought it was too strong. Now, the new random weakness they added is a basic weakness to the card pool. Overconfident. When it's put into play in your threat area, forced, after you fail a skill test, take 1 damage, and double action to discard it. Not too bad, really. It's not terrible. It's very similar to a lot of the other ones that always have that type of trigger effect. So we have the new 1911. Let's look for the old one. So they're the same gun. 45 automatic and 1911. Except the 1911 costs 1 less. 4 ammo. Pitches for a foot. Spend 1 ammo, fight, you get +1 fist for this attack and deal +1 damage. Spend 1 ammo, fight, you get +1 fist damage. I'm not sure if this messes with the card rulings, because people do call a 1911 a 45 automatic sometimes. That's a weird oversight. So I guess you could have 4 of these in your deck. I don't know why you would, because this is now superior to this one in just cost alone, so this is definitely a rebalance. We have this new card, Police Dog. It's an ally creature, police, 3 cost, pitches for a foot. Fast action during attack or investigating at your location. Exhaust Police Dog. Perform the performing investigator gets +1 skill value test, 1 health, 1 sanity. This is actually a really good utility card. I do like this. I think it's a little bit better than Guard Dog. Rookie Cop, similar to Beat Cop, except this time you're discovering clues instead of dealing damage. 3 cost, and they may be assigned to damage or horror to other investigations at your location. Rookie Cop may be assigned damage and or horror to other investigators at your location. Rookie Cop is defeated. Discover 1 clue at your location. 2 and 2. Still pretty decent ability. Service Revolver. After an enemy attacks you, spend 1 ammo. Fight. This attack targets the enemy. You get +1 fist and deal +1 damage for the attack. 3 ammo. Pitches for a foot. Cost 2. Fairly cheap. The only thing that's weird about it is after an enemy attacks you. It doesn't have the action arrow for you to attack first. This is a reactive weapon, which thematically makes sense. Up here we have Protective Vest. After you play Protective Vest, search the top 6 cards of your deck for a firearm or upgrade card. Add it to your hand, shuffle your deck. It adds 2 health. Costs 3, pitches for a brain. Takes up a body slot. I actually like this a lot more than the normal Bulletproof Vest. I think you get less health out of it, but the ability to just go find stuff instead of actually adding cards to go find other things, this is a action compression card. Make 'em Sing. A 2-cost event that pitches for a book or a fist, and it's a tactic, but it's a parlay. So parlay is really important because you can play parlay while you're engaged and not be attacked. Choose an enemy at your location, test Fist X, where X is the enemy's remaining health. If you succeed, automatically evade that enemy and discover 1 clue at your location. Not a strong card, but I do like the ability of the card. I also feel like this is just police brutality on a zombie over here. We have Bounty. It's a 0-cost event, pitches for a fist. I actually like this card. Fast. Play after an enemy at your location is defeated. Investigators at your location gain a total of X resources. Distribute as you wish. X is the enemy's printed health to a maximum of 6. This is a really strong card, especially for Guardians, especially for Tommy, because he wants weapons and upgrades. And the fact that it costs 0 as an event, it's a fast action. It's a really cool ability. I'd say it's a standard for Guardian decks. Next up, we have this Custom Grip. Fast. Costs 1, pitches for a book. Attach a firearm asset you control. As a fast action, during your turn, except during an action, discard Custom Grip. Return attached assets to your hand, and you play a firearm asset from your hand, paying its cost. I'm not sure if I remember the timing exactly, but I don't think this is allowed to counter his weakness. Because it says, except during an action, and you're still resolving the action of the weakness. It's an odd card, but I do see some use with it, especially if you want to return something with a lot of ammo. But I don't think it's good. Here we have Iron Sights, another weapon upgrade. It costs 1, it's an event, pitches it for a wild. Fast, play only on your turn. Attached to a firearm asset you control. Action, exhaust Iron Sights. You get +3 skill value the next time you are using the attached asset this turn. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. This is an interesting upgrade, but it's really good for things like the Gatling gun. Or anything that does massive damage and you really need it to hit. This kind of almost guarantees it. It's a cool item, but it's kind of weird. Here we have this event called Physical Fitness. Costs 2, pitches for a fist and a foot. And you just do a move action. After the move, you heal 2 damage. It's actually pretty good. We have Restrained, which is a modification of handcuffs, and it's not an item anymore. But it is an event, costs 1, pitches for a brain or foot. Fast, play after a non-elite enemy attacks you. Automatically evade that enemy and attach restraints to it. Attach enemy cannot ready. This is really important because a lot of the ready stuff, especially in nuanced cases, gets confusing. But I like this card. There is a forced effect when the round ends if the attached enemy is not humanoid, discard restraint, which makes sense. But it's a really neat card. I like this idea. We have Stakeout here. It's a 2-cost event, pitches for 2 books. Investigate. You get +2 book for this investigation. If you succeed, heal 1 horror. Kind of utilitarian, but I do like its purpose because it does help Guardians. They're not really the best at investigating. But it helps them heal horror, which is usually their weaker stat. Here we have Adapt and Overcome, after Tommy has eaten it on a motorcycle, very Mad Max looking. Skill, You can pitch it for a fist, a foot, or a wild. Or 2 fists and 2 feet. Commit only to a skill test during attack or evasion. Performing Investigator ignores the alert and palette keywords during this text. It's actually kind of a cool card because it thematically fits with either. So you're either going to get 2 fists or 2 foot, or you can just help someone out for... Actually, you can. It's only commit only to a skill test for attack evasion. So yeah. Here we have Armed to the Teeth. Very trench warfare looking. Very... Well, it's not practical. But pitches for a brain, a fist, or a foot. Practiced. Well, it's committed to a skill test on an item asset you control. Armed to the Teeth gains double wild. So yeah, those guns just got even more strong. Here we have Vicious Blow, comparing it to the old Vicious Blow. So yeah, nothing has changed here except the art. Still very similar. A Nightgaunt versus, I don't know what this thing is, but we got a bat versus a hatchet. This is more friendly, I guess, because this has blood. But they do the same thing. And now we've gotten to our upgrade cards. So original police dog and new police dog. Same cost, same pitch. But during the action, it'll add +1, so it's now 2 skill value to the test. Still really a handy utilitarian card. And honestly, who doesn't like dogs? So we compare the old 45 automatic to the new 1911. Pitches for the same, still 4 ammo. Just ignore attack, ignore retaliate keyword for the attack, same, +2. Yeah, the only thing is the cost. This is far better than this. And honestly, I've always thought this was overcosted. So, huzzah. Now, weird things like this upgrade, Extended Barrel. It's a 1 cost event, 1 experience, pitches for a book, fast play during your turn. Attached to a firearm asset you control. You get +1 skill value while attacking with the attached asset. Now, there was a time in my life I was a former gunsmith apprentice, and this is not the way to do extended barrels. Here's another really good utilitarian card for Tommy. It's a 2 cost event, 1 experience. Pitches for a brain, a book, or a wild. On the beat. But fast play when your turn begins. Until the end of your turn, you get +3 skill value when investigating or parlaying. This is really helpful when Guardians have nothing to do. So if they really need to go around and get clues, this is a good card. +3 is a lot. Here's the upgraded physical fitness. It costs 2 experience, so the 1 cost event. Still pitches for the same icons. But now after you move, you heal 3 damage. So this is actually a really good card. Here's another new weapon thing. It's basically extra ammo. 2 experience, cost 2, pitches for a brain. Place 5 ammo, divide as you choose among firearm assets you control, which is the nice part. So you can spread it out a little bit. Upgraded Vicious Blow, if it's successful during attack, deals +1 damage, +2 damage instead if you succeed by 2 or more. I'm pretty sure old Vicious Blow worked that way. Yep, so that's the same. Now here's Detective Sherman. He's a 4 cost, 3 XP. He is an asset, takes up an ally slot, a book, a fist, a wild. He gets a +1 fist, he gives you, that's what he gives you. And then Detective Sherman may be assigned damage and or horror dealt to other investigators at your location. Reaction, after damage is placed on Detective Sherman, exhaust him, discover one clue at your location. Actually a pretty handy guy to have, especially for Guardians, because again, they're not the best at getting clues. But he boosts your fit stat, he has 3 health, and 2 sanity, so he can take some soak here. He's actually really good, especially for high difficulty shroud locations. But he's also an ally that I think is better in the Chapter 1 version of Tommy. And in the story, it does refer to him, the little story sheet. So, there's some lore. Here we have Endurance. It is a 3 cost experience, 2 cost asset. It is a fist and a foot icon. It's a talent. But the starting, this is the key thing that makes it very different. You may begin the game with 1 copy of a starting card in your opening hand. Now, the thing I'm really kind of confused by, but according to the Chapter 2 rules, it says draw 5 cards. So I believe you start with this in your hand and you draw your other 5 cards. So this actually gives you a 6th card in your opening hand, which is actually a really cool idea. I like the fact that they said 1 copy, because if you are a multi-class character, you can have the other classes' versions of this. And then we have this action. Fast action, spend 1 resource, get 1 fist for a skill test. +2 instead if it's for attack or evasion, which I really like that clarification. And then fast action, spend 1 resource, get +1 foot to the skill test, +2 if this is for attack or evasion. And this is kind of a neat thing because it's clarifying, like rogues have a lot of weapons that want to use your foot ability instead of your fist. So this actually makes it useful for them if you're going that route. The upgraded stakeout costs 3 experience, costs 2, book, and a foot. Investigate, you get +3. If you succeed, discover 1 additional clue location and heal 2 horror. It's a little pricey for what it is. Here we have this Jet Li Indomitable pose. 3 skill, or 3 XP for a brain, a fist, or a wild. If enemy is attacked an investigator at this location this round, Indomitable gains +3 wild. Very, very strong card. Here we have the upgraded protective vest. Costs 3. Resources 3 experience. Pitches for a brain, a fist, and a wild. You have 1 additional hand slot, which may only be used to hold a firearm asset. So it's kind of like Bandolier, but you still get the reaction of finding a firearm or upgrade, and you get 3 health on top of it. It's a really good card. You do lose the will from Bandolier. And now we have a level 5 Thompson submachine gun, which I don't believe that's what it was called, but I gotta double check. So it costs 6 in the chapter 1 for 3 experience, pitches for double fist, uses 5 ammo, and ammo spent from the 40 caliber Thompson is placed in your resource pool as resources. As an action, you spend 1 ammo, fight, you get +2 and deal +1 damage, takes up 2 hand slots. Now the level 5 Thompson here, the new one, which I don't know if these really do, they are the same weapon technically, has an extra ammo. Everything else pitches for the same and the cost is the same, but it's 5 XP. But 6 ammo, spend 1 ammo, fight, you get +3 fist and deal 1 damage to this attack. And then as a reaction, you resolve the above ability again, spend 1 ammo, fight, this attack deals 1 damage. That's really cool for mowing down stuff, or if you just really need to fight stuff a lot. So overall, I kind of like the new Tommy Muldoon more than the other one. It just really depends on your playstyle. He's very limited and very linear, but honestly, if you're the guardian of the group, it's kind of what you want to do, and he's really good at it, obviously. You're going to have some issues getting cash, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be that bad. I do like the fact that they've matured him, and instead of just being a survivor, like, he reminds me of the rookie cop Leon from Resident Evil 2, and now we have Leon from Resident Evil 9, where he's just a badass. This is more that route. It's like watching an RE2 Leon become RE9 Leon. Well, that's been the review of Tommy Muldoon from the Tommy Muldoon Investigator pack. I'm still doing the 2026 giveaway. If you saw the earlier video, I am giving away all 5 of them at the 250 subscriber mark, so when I hit 500 and you've entered the video, you might have a chance to win a copy of the original Chapter 1 Investigators. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. Take care of yourselves, and GG's.